Good evening, America. This is 60 Minutes with Jose Hernandez, and tonight I will be interviewing Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a civil rights advocate who will be discussing with me about his letter, The Negro is Your Friend, that he wrote while in jail in Birmingham.
Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January 15, 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia. King, a Baptist minister and civil rights activist, had a seismic impact on race relations in the United States beginning in the mid-1950s. Among his many efforts, King headed the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. Through his activism and inspirational speeches, he played a pivotal role in ending the legal segregation of African American citizens in the United States, as well as the creation of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965. King received the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964, among several other honors. He was assassinated in April 1968 and continues to be remembered as one of the most influential and inspirational African American leaders in history.
Welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Pretty good.
Good.
So, Dr. King, why would you write a clergyman while in Birmingham jail? And also, why would you entitle your letter, The Negro is Your Friend?
Well, first of all, I wasn't even supposed to be writing in jail, but I was given a pen and the newspaper article from Clarence Jones, and the letter I wrote defends the strategy of nonviolent resistance to racism. It says that people have a moral responsibility to break unjust laws and to take direct action rather than waiting potentially forever for justice to come through the courts. Now, this was written when I was in jail after I was arrested on April 12th, but I received a newspaper article called A Call for Unity, written by some clergymen who agreed that social injustices existed, but they argued that battle against racial segregation should be fought solely in the courts and not on the streets. And of course, me as a minister, I had to respond to these criticisms on religious grounds. And as an activist, I challenged and entrenched the social system. And I argued on legal, political, and historical grounds. And as an African American, I spoke of the country's oppression of black people, including myself. As an orator, I used many persuasive techniques to reach the hearts and minds of.
So, Dr. King, why were you arrested?
Well, you see, I was arrested because a group of friends and I were protesting the treatment of blacks in Birmingham, Alabama, such as segregation in restaurants, bathrooms, libraries, schools, and other public places of the sort.
So, at the time of your arrest, how did you feel?
I definitely wasn't scared. I understood the consequences to my actions. I wasn't afraid if I was going to get lynched, put in jail. I wasn't scared of what people were going to do to me. I knew what I was doing was for good and not for bad, so I was confident, I was strong, I didn't let anything get in my way, and I...
So, at the time of your arrest, how did you feel?
I definitely wasn't scared. I understood the consequences to my actions. I wasn't afraid if I was going to get lynched, put in jail. I wasn't scared of what people were going to do to me. I knew what I was doing was for good and not for bad, so I was confident, I was strong, I didn't let anything get in my way, and I continued with what I had in mind.
Some white people in the United States were still discriminating against blacks. The blacks had to suffer a humiliation at every step, and I strongly opposed this. I traveled throughout the United States of America and abroad, lecturing and meeting civil and religious leaders. I wanted to complete the unfinished work of Abraham Lincoln. So I followed the path of nonviolence shown by Mahatma Gandhi and became the leader of the Black Americans. We started a peaceful movement to be treated as equals of the whites. My movement became widespread, and I was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize.